just like when producing any sort of content like this, be it stupid, absurd, whatever it is, Python-ish, or even the animations that you do and so forth. Ultimately, you talk to anyone that does what you do or just tries to make people laugh for a living. Ultimately, that's ultimately what it comes down to, regardless of whether or not it's witty or it's silly or so forth. I think I'm probably terribly misquoting here, but I'm pretty sure like Mel Brooks himself like once said, "Witness shit, funny as money." So that's what you should go for. And I think that's ultimately just what we want to do. Like, it doesn't matter if it's smart or engages us or anything like that. Sometimes you just want to chuckle at some random kid. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with Mel Brooks. That guy knows what he's doing. It doesn't matter how stupid it is, as long as it's like an okay thing to do, like in terms of not hurting anyone. I don't care how stupid the things I am making are. People seem to enjoy them, and I enjoy them, and they're a lot of fun to make, and I'm allowed to make them and have a life, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. But
yeah, if you make people laugh, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that being said, like I do try to make things not be like stupid, like inherently stupid so much. I don't want them to feel like a stupid person made them. I want them to feel, I want to feel like a person made them and they are just happen to be stupid because that person likes stupid things. Here I go with the stupid again. But like when I write Potter Puppet Pals scripts, they often start off like way more heady than they need to be. And someone will like have to remind me like, like a lot of like 13-year-olds are watching this. You don't need to put references to whatever you're putting a reference to. But when it does end up in there in some way, if I make a stupid puppet video that has some psychological element to it, I think that, oh, hey, Emmy. I think that it does help the long-term appreciation of something if it's not like utter fluff, Right. You can make something that works on more than one level, which is really interesting to do.
I'd say shoot for that, absolutely.
Okay, thanks. Hi.
So we just came from a panel where people were talking about GIFs as like a high art form,
Mm-hmm.
And now we're here talking about flash videos as kind of a stupid art form.
Hey, art form, but yeah.
I guess that both of those have kind of made me think, like, 50 years from now, what will the legacy be? Like, will these things even exist on the internet, whatever the internet is, 50 years from now? And what do you hope the legacy is, for, way in the future?
I don't know. It's like.
Do we see like at the MoMA? Like, will there be animated GIFs or financial stripe or?
Like on like lenticular screens, you have to like go like this to see it. I don't know. I think about that every once in a while. Like, what is all the crap on the internet gonna be? Where is that gonna be in 10 years? I think about all the crap that was on my hard drive in the 90s. And how I still have that, and I've kept it, and I've like made copies of it, because I don't like to lose any files or forget anything. So I have like bad fiction I wrote when I was in like kindergarten, and I think the internet is probably going to preserve quite a bit of what is popular right now. And I don't know, like you can still look up like the really early videos that people would make. Like you can still see the dancing baby if you want to see that for some reason. But yeah, I hope in like 50 years when the singularity happens and everybody is plugged in through the back of their neck, then you can just enter in like the year you want to experience, and you can just check out like archive.org, but better. You can just surf the internet at a different time for historical perspective, I guess. I don't know if I'd call it perspective, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, yeah, that's my answer. Hi.
Why don't you call Mom?
That's my sister, Annie. I don't know. She's too nice. I don't like it.
Are you ever concerned about, I think like budget constraints can often lead to a lot of creativity. If you were given a huge, enormous pile of money,
Oh.
to make something with that, like
Like 5 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, let's make a movie. Now I'm too much of an abused dog at this point in terms of budget. Like I'd be like, I don't want to touch that money. I'd be scared to do anything with a bigger budget than what I'm used to doing. I am very good at making things without a budget, coming up with ideas that don't require a budget. So yeah, that's something I haven't had much practice in, is dreaming beyond my budget of zero. Yeah, so I don't know. That's not something I think about too much anymore.
Speaking of puppet pals, it's become a really huge part of the Harry Potter fandom. It's difficult to be a Harry Potter fan and not have heard of it or seen at least a couple. Have you done, or do you think you will do anything that is less random and more really focused on a different fandom other than Harry Potter?
If I do, it would be kind of by accident, I think, which is what Potter Puppet. I was a fan of Harry Potter, and that helped me make them, but I wasn't like more of a fan of Harry Potter than I was of other things I was into at the time. So if I don't know, it just depends on what random idea I would get. I don't have like an urge to tap into. I really should, because Potter Puppet Pals has been like by far the most popular thing I've ever created. And like you said, I really bank on the fact that everybody in the fandom knows about it. So that's like a huge market for, a huge audience and market for any new video I want to put out as the Potter Puppet Pals. But I don't think in terms of, I need to cash in on the Hunger Games fans. I don't know. I probably should though, because that's a good way to make money and retire someday.
Not necessarily regardless of Catholic fandom, but
Yeah.
if it's like there's such a type of fandom that doesn't have anything like that, and it should.
Yeah, no, I really like having kind of a in with the Harry Potter fandom, having a connection to them, because I'm a fan, but I'm not a fandom fan kind of person. So it's interesting to like kind of have a doorway into that world. I went to a Harry Potter convention in Florida last year called ROFLcon, and and I'm going again in Chicago this year, and it's just a lot of fun. It's really cool to be welcomed as a guest into that kind of thing. I feel like Harry Potter is still kind of popular enough that I don't need to find a new home in terms of that, but yeah. So I don't think about fandoms and getting into them or making something for a fandom, but I am a fan of things. So sometimes I will make something that counts as a fan work. Sometimes.
What project did you have the most fun?
Oh, the most fun working. I don't know. There's kind of like a steady level of fun that's not too high for most projects. Yeah, Potter Puppet Pals has probably like taken me to the most interesting places as like a overarching project to be working on. Like I said, I've gone to the Harry Potter conventions. I had a brief tour with Harry and the Potters last Christmas, and that was like really fun. So that's definitely the most fun, because when I do it live, like people scream at the puppets and they really enjoy them, and it's like a huge rush to to freak people out with puppets.
Why do you hate Jacob Malfoy so much?
Because you're supposed to, because he's a villain. I think it's weird that people like really like him. I mean, he's a safe person to like because he's not real, but like if you're like if you're gonna like a total asshole, better make him a fictional one, not like a real guy who's gonna break your heart or something. But I don't get the craziness over him so much, and I like picking on him because I've always been, people always ask me, like, why don't you make this character in Potter Puppet Pals? And usually the answer is, I just can't think of a funny way to do that. And yeah, he's one of those. That's why I hate him.